Ramsey is delusional. Ramsey said that buyers shouldn't pay more than 1/4 of the take-home on 15-year mortgages. This dude is so out of touch with reality. I am surprised he has such a large base of followers. My stupid ass staring at this thread wondering when Gordon Ramsay left the culinary world to comment on the state of the real estate market before remembering what subreddit I was in. Bro is stuck in the 1980s. He's AA for people who can't control their spending. The advice of not going into debt, save for mortgages, putting 15 into retirement, etc. is generally good advice. He just takes it overboard. He's good for encouraging people to get out of debt, and that's about it. You will build wealth if you use his philosophy, but there are much better ways out there. Dave Ramsey is for people who can't balance a checkbook. He also says no one should ever declare bankruptcy, even though he did it twice. And he says no one needs credit history or credit score. And that you should stop your company 401k match while you pay off debt. His advice is tantamount to financial malfeasance. In the last 6 months or so, I believe he did up it to 30-year, but yeah, 15 is his preference. His messaging is really for people who struggle to manage their money, and it works. He's just running on his brand name now. Even at his prime he is the most basic financial advisor that anyone could have. Pay off debt, don't take on more debt, create an emergency fund, put 10 away. He is like a long drawn-out version of the richest man in Babylon. I thought he catered to a specific type, not the masses. But I don't consider myself his type, so I'm not sure what he blabs about. His advice is perfect for boomers. It lets them believe that everything is still the way it was when they were working and enjoying life. They want to believe that this is still the case because it brings them comfort. They hate change, they love him. The rest of the world moved on a long time ago. He helped me when I was struggling with student loans and didn't know jack shit about money. Honestly would not be where I am today without him. Hate his politics, hate his salesmanship, and flourished with his advice when I needed it. BTW, I pay 1/7 of my take-home in mortgage. Dave Ramsey is geared at Christians who suck at money management. People who thrive with hard and fast rules, regardless of the applicability of the rule to the current climate. People who choose not to strenuously apply current data to their belief systems. For those people, he's very effective and has a positive impact. And his program sells regardless of whether it works, because it's the user's fault if they fail. I've seen bits and pieces of his show on YouTube and he's sometimes downright cruel in a boomer sort of way. I swear he still thinks you can work summers at a minimum wage job and pay your way through college. It's the way it should be, but it's not the way it is. Just be rich, bro, problem solved. And zero out your FICO score. Total coincidence BTW that I have an ownership interest in the only mortgage bank in the country doing 15 years FHA mortgages for people without FICO scores. Not my job to market them by naming the lender. 15 years FHA loans BTW are the most profitable of all the mortgage types. What Dave Ramsey is great for. Unfucking your debt situation. What Dave Ramsey is not great for. General financial and housing advice. Once people have money, they forget what it's like to not have money. John Oliver's skit on him in his timeshare piece really summed John Ramsey up for me. Complete ass. So many smarties on this thread curse Ramsey advice but will end up house poor. Most of his followers are either boomers that still can't grasp the fact that current young people can't go out and buy a home on a blue-collar job, or they are good Christian children of those boomers that believe that same things their parents do. Most everything he puts out there has little to no bearing in the current economy. I like how discharged millions in bankruptcy, but it's immoral for his listeners to not pay back all money they owe. He's not exactly wrong, it's just no longer applicable. I think a lot of his ideas are out of touch with the present-day reality and some are just bad. aka Ramsey says everyone alive should get a remote job for a tech company and move to a local area. If you're a Gen Z or millennial with average income and average student debt load, and you don't want to live in rural North Dakota, Ramsey's advice is completely non-applicable. I used to be a Ramsey head, but quickly realized most of his financial advice is for people who have zero self-control regarding saving or spending. His housing advice is pretty outdated. David Ramsey is a celebrity, not a legitimate financial advisor. Look at the investments he's pushing. They are horrible. Ramsey said that buyers shouldn't pay more than 1/4 of the take-home on 15-year mortgages ever dream of buying a house again. Ramsey is for people who blow money non-stop lol. Dave Ramsey says no more than 30 of take-home should be spent on housing, mortgage or not. Lots of people are able to stick to this. My mortgage is 18 of my take-home. I live in the SF Bay Area. He's under investigation by authorities for some serious stuff, scamming, can't recall what exactly though. I think a lot of people would be really happy if they could only spend 1/4 of their income on their mortgage. A 15-year mortgage would be awesome, but it's not realistic. Honestly, I think houses under $300K are a good deal. Best way to save and pay off debt, get more income. Yay, if only it were just that simple. His income is about $1 million a month and he probably thinks that's normal. Dave Ramsey is more of the realistic ones out there telling people reality and not sugarcoating anything. His program is structured toward people that are just stupid with their money, which is majority of America. Aren't his followers mostly boomers anyway? I'm not sure I completely understand. Is he saying spend no more than 25 of your take-home pay on housing? Guys, let's be reasonable here. We should all buy real estate now regardless of the current interest rates or prices. Why? Because these past few years have shown us 200 increases every 4 years. That's a 19 increase per year, guaranteed double the historical stock return without any risk, and you can rent it out while it's growing in value. Think about it. You buy home from bank, renters pay mortgage, and you double your money every 4 years. We can all have infinite money if this fails. We can use tree leaves as a currency. Lots of leaves around, so we'll all be rich. For the average family his rule is $878 mortgage. They don't exist. His methods are on the conservative side, but they work 99 out of 100 times. He could loosen up his collar a bit and still hit 95/100, embarrassed smiley face, embarrassed smiley face. Just because it's unrealistic, it doesn't mean the advice is wrong. I think in local areas that really doable. Even in McCall for some. Dave has good advice, it's worked for a lot of people and my mortgage falls in line with his recommendation. But I live in a low to medium call area. How does no one simply ask Dave Ramsey out how his advice is possible? Why is there back and forth on this? All someone has to do on a call is to ask if he can break down how that is even mathematically possible. He's overrated for sure, but he's right that people are perfectly willing to overspend on most things. Ramsey isn't as delusional as you might imagine. Plenty of people make enough money to abide by that recommendation. His target audience and followers are those people, not the rest of us. He doesn't believe in credit cards or car loans, he doesn't care about FICO scores, he says his is 0. Who would give you a mortgage without a credit rating? What a lot of people are missing is that Dave's rule is about not being house poor. If you can't afford to live in a certain place, then you can't afford it. Period. Buying a house you can't afford only hurts you in the long run when you don't have enough money left to enjoy life and save for retirement. You can make more money. You can find a less expensive house. I generally paid way less than a quarter for a 15 years, but I still think it's pretty good advice so that there is plenty of extra money for a rainy day and don't have to rely on credit cards. I disagree. We are DR graduates and he changed our lives. It's not going to be easy, But we did his program baby steps and it works.